Start the Peter, how's it going, Peter?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Can y'all send out a blast of text to everybody else? Make sure that they got the memo. I posted that stuff, but I don't know if they saw it. So if y'all can send people the texts and try to get them. Casey, can you check and see if Cecilia Chong is here today? Thank you. I should have done that beforehand, but
yeah, I didn't even think about it either.
no, that's okay. I mean,
Actually, I have to grab.
that may be Cecilia. That is Cecilia. Hey, Cecilia, come on in. Here, I'm gonna put my mask on, just in case. All right. Guess I should have made a copy of this for everybody, but we're missing Casey, we're missing Trenton.
You want to make copies real quick?
Yes, please. If you can make a copy of that for everybody. That's not a finished product, but I'm gonna let the kids watch it. I mean, read it.
This morning during Navigator, if I could have your attention for just a moment. Just a quick reminder that parking stickers are on sale. And if you are purchasing a parking sticker, these are for students, you must have your current Texas driver's license. You must have a copy of your insurance card, and your name and the vehicle must be listed on your insurance card. You must have an application form completely filled out, and the cost of your sticker is $30 cash or check, and the check needs to be made out.
So to the bookkeeper, right?
What?
To the bookkeeper?
Yes.
L116. A quick reminder about school pictures. Our freshmen are taking their pictures today, 10th and 11th grade. We'll take your pictures tomorrow, and then Friday, all of our virtual.
I don't think mine until the
Have
next.
an opportunity to come up and have their
All right. So since we're recording this meeting, guys, I'm going to go ahead and read, but I've supplied you with a copy. Peter, I didn't supply you with a copy, but I am sharing my screen. I wrote this yesterday. Now, this isn't a finished product because I had to run it by Dr. Smith. There are some other issues or some other issues at play that we need to consider before we approach any potential business owners for donations. But it simply says, "Dear local business owner, my name is Matt Cooper. I'm the 12th grade assistant principal at Dickinson High School. One of my responsibilities is coordinating fundraising efforts for the Dickinson High School class of 2021 and preparing prom festivities. Under normal circumstances, this is a large task that requires a substantial amount of fundraising effort by our senior class. Expenses for a typical prom can approach $50,000. This task has been complicated by interruptions to normal school activities brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Several planned fundraising events had to be canceled during the spring semester last year, and those cancellations threaten our ability to have a prom for our seniors. Even now, the continuation of COVID safety protocols makes normal fundraising activities difficult to impossible, even though some of the students have returned to school. This is where we need your help. Would you consider making a financial donation to the class of 2021 to be used for prom expenses? We realize the difficulty in asking for donations during these challenging and uncertain economic times. It is simply our desire to provide these students a special and memorable conclusion to their high school experience. Any amount donated would be greatly appreciated, and we will provide you documentation for your donation for tax purposes. Thank you for your consideration and hopefully your donation. Sincerely and respectfully, me." All right, a couple of problems with this. One, it's coming from me and not you guys. That's problem number one. So, I mean, we can tailor this so that you guys have, we word it so that it's coming from you guys, a little more powerful coming from students than it is coming from an adult. Okay. But use this kind of as a framework. Use this as a template. The other problem that I see with it is this. Any of y'all in debate? Okay. Y'all seen The Great Debaters with Denzel Washington? You seen it? No? Need to watch it. You have homework. All right. In the movie The Great Debaters, he says, "Would you punch yourself in a street fight?" Of course, the kids say no. And he said, "Well, don't argue against yourself in a word fight. If you're asking people to donate money to you, don't remind them that we're going through a very challenging economic time before you ask them for money. Don't even plant the seed in their brain that, hey, times are hard right now and you may be short on cash. Don't even mention it to them. Let them decide whether or not times are hard. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So this line right here where I say we realize the difficulty in asking for donations during these challenging and uncertain economic times, you're basically reminding them, or not I'm basically reminding them that, hey, you may be strapped for cash. And then in the very next breath, asking them for a donation, which makes no sense at all. You see what I'm saying? You're arguing against what you want them to do. Okay. So I think that that's a line right there that we could leave out and still accomplish the goal. If you kind of catch my drift there and you understand kind of what I'm going for here. Now, I talked to Dr. Smith yesterday. Dr. Smith said that there's a roughly $95 million bond election on the ballot in November. And she said you can't exactly approach local business owners asking them to donate money prior to having them vote for something that's going to essentially raise their raise their taxes. So she said something like this can't even be done until after the election.
Yeah.
Let them vote on that first, and it probably passes, and then we ask for donations at that point in time. Okay, does that make sense, guys? All right. Again, you start asking for money prior to the bond election, you reduce the chances that the bond election is going to pass. And we know how crowded some schools are and what kind of growth we're looking like. That's a big picture overview of kind of the district's situation and their position. So anyway, I did this to give you guys a template, an idea of how you go about asking businesses for money. And I think that that'll work. And we tweak it a little bit to fit, but she said it would be more powerful if I had you guys, if we wrote it from your perspective. And that's very easy to do. That's a very simple tweaking of the first paragraph and then changing the very bottom where it says my name. You know what I mean? So that I did most of the work there. I feel like for you, we can tweak it to fit kind of the way you want it to read.
Do you have this as a saved document?
I have it. It's on Google Drive, so I can share it. Yeah, I can share it, and when I can, give you guys editing rights and have you guys play with it. All right. Another thing, I called Big Life Fundraisers yesterday. Those are the people that are responsible for butter braids. At this point, we are looking for any and all avenues where we can gain as much or raise as much money as we possibly can. We did not do a very good job last year as far as raising money via butter braids. Did y'all eat any butter braids last year? Did y'all buy any butter braids last year and eat any of them?
No.
They are delicious. I am not kidding you. I bought $100 worth of them. I don't even know how many that is. I think they were
Like 20 a piece.
15
a piece.
okay, whatever they are a piece, it doesn't matter. They were delicious. Actually, my niece who goes to Texas Tech now, I gave her 2 butter braids for Christmas. That's all she wanted. So that was a pretty cheap Christmas gift for her. Those things are delicious, guys. I want them to bring us a sample so you guys can be believers like I'm a believer, but I'm going to buy at least $100 worth of butter braids this year and maybe more than that. And you should hit up all your teachers for that stuff.
I
But
like how it says on their website, find a dealer.
yeah, right. But they're supposed to be sending me the information for a contactless fundraiser, which will involve each senior scanning a QR code. And when you scan that QR code, it gives you a unique URL so that people that purchase will be purchasing and the sale will go to you. Yeah, like you scan your QR code, put your information in. Now you distribute your URL code however you want to distribute it, social media, whatever. And when people buy from your URL code, you get the credit for the sale. Then the stuff is delivered here to school. It's already prepackaged. So however many people you were able to reach and sell to, it's already in a box and labeled, hey, this is for Joe Smith. And he bought 3 of them and they're all already pre-sorted for you. All you have to do is then is just distribute them or let them know how they can come and pick those things up. Typically people that know you are going to buy from you, so you'll be able to get those things to them.
They're seriously so good.
They are delicious. And you just pop them in the oven and throw some icing on them and they are fantastic. So the time frame for that, that I spoke to the guy about yesterday. October 26th would be our target date for the start of that sale. So about 2.5 weeks from now. And the end of that sale being the week of 11/16. Officially, we would shut it down on 11/16, but he said we could still accept orders all the way up till 11/20, which is the day we get out for Thanksgiving. And that gives them several weeks to fill our orders and then have them back to us prior to the Christmas holidays. So we'd be able to distribute them prior to Christmas. So that's an immediate fundraiser that we can do. So right now, as we're kind of planning this out, we've got the butter braids thing that's on deck. Then the potential, hey, local business owners, we're asking you for donations for prom. I like the angle of asking corporate money is always easier to come by, and it usually comes in bigger chunks than asking for money in small pieces from individuals. But we didn't, and then the last one being the food sale that we have scheduled for January 26th, the one that we had last week that we talked to Coach Nordstrom about. Those are three that we have right now. We still don't know whether we can have a prom. However, we're going to raise money or try to raise money like we can. I'm looking for alternative sites for a prom. We already have a reservation at Moody, but that doesn't mean we have to stick with that. Depending on how fundraising looks like it's going, we have is this from last year, this invoice?
Yes, that's all what the senior class was gonna do, the senior class of 2020.
Okay.
What didn't go through for that.
Right. So Peter, what I'm looking at here is the invoice for last year that Mr. Rodriguez set up for last year's seniors.
Okay.
The food alone, purchasing the food alone from Moody Gardens was $27,338. That's just the food.
And it's finger foods.
Yeah, that's not the decorations. That's not, any other, that's not for security, because you have to pay several Galveston County sheriffs to work security at your prom. That's probably $1,000 a piece there. And there's a significant expenditure that comes along with having prom. 832. Casey, can you get that? See if that's Big Life fundraising.
Is that Big Life fundraising?
Okay, no, it's not. She would have put that there. I don't know who that is.
Student.
I recognize that number. No. Okay.
Yeah, you'll recognize the kid.
Okay. So it's $27,000 at Moody Gardens, 27 and some change just for the food alone. So it's probably wise to start looking at potential options. I'm cooling on using the Doyle Center over in Texas City. I don't know that that's maybe the best play. I left a message yesterday at Lago Mar. Lago Mar is that new subdivision that they're building on 45. All of those students in Lago Mar they come to Dickinson. That's a Dickinson ISD subdivision. So all of those students will come to Dickinson ISD. My thought process there is, A, it's new. B, I don't know whether they have like a wedding reception hall or a venue already built or are building it that might be able to hold our prom, something near the lagoon. Are y'all familiar with kind of the lagoon that's out there? I don't know if y'all have seen it or not. If they have something unique, something that other people haven't done, something that they may want to get the word out, hey, this is here for rental, perhaps they might be willing to host our prom. Yes, and use us as an opportunity to advertise. Plus, you get several hundred Dickinson High School students out there. And so there's some residual marketing benefit to perhaps hosting our prom out there if they have a location that's suitable. I don't even know that they do, Cecilia. I really don't know if they even have a place out there by the lagoon that's big enough. Maybe it's an outdoor area. We may have to get creative and think outside the box. An indoor prom may not be allowed, but an outdoor gathering might be. So again, I'm trying to think outside the box there. My other thought is if social distancing is still a requirement and large gatherings at places like Moody Gardens or the Doyle Convention Center are still not allowed at that point in time. One place I know that we can get together and it is being allowed is the school. The school is, you're allowed to get together at the school. We do it every single day. And we put several hundred kids inside the event. Now, I know that's not sexy. But the alternative is not having a prom at all. So my thought is, okay, CDC and TEA, if you're not going, and if you're not going to allow us to gather at off-campus sites in large numbers, you allow us to come to school every single day in large numbers. How are you going to keep us from doing that? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm trying to combat any argument that we might get from either the TEA or CDC or local community. The local community, your parents probably want you guys to have a normal prom. They didn't get to do that last year. And so if push comes to shove, my thought is we gather here every day. So why wouldn't we be able to have a prom here? So I think we're able to defeat most arguments against having a prom if we were to say, all right, everybody, we'll just do it here. Now, if social distancing is what you're worried about, if that's still your argument, who's to say that we couldn't have several places within this very large school where we have several different DJs? Because look, we're going to save a ton of money on facility costs that you could then use to house maybe 3 or 4 different sites here on campus for prom. You split the numbers up. You have a country western section, you got a hip hop section, you got whatever you want. I mean, however creative y'all want to get, but you have several spots here on campus where you could maybe make that happen using the money that you would save on facilities, because it wouldn't cost us anything. It would cost us the cost of security is what it would cost us. You pay for.
You could have a really, really nice dinner.
Well, yeah, you could also get it. You could also get it, catered by, well, pretty much whoever you want it, because whoever you get, it's not going to cost you $27,000, more than likely, to feed that number of people. So those are some thoughts. Give me some. Yeah, go ahead.
Would you like us to maybe talk to our classes?
Yeah.
And see if that's something they would be interested in?
What, the prom here on campus?
Yeah, on campus.
I don't know.
I mean, we do have to test the waters on this stuff. So we're going to have to get some input and feedback. Like I said,
thought about doing a Google form and having navigator teachers fill it out, having
Sure.
The senior class fill it out.
Senior class, navigator classes, fill out a Google form, and take their temperature. Again, that's part of the sales pitch to our senior class. If the alternative is not having a prom at all, how bad do you want to have prom? If we have it here you can have a pretty nice decorated. All the money you're raising, you're going to be able to reallocate to DJs and food and decorations.
You should even get a cool photo booth.
Right. So that's not set in stone, guys. But I'm trying to think outside the box and think of ways that we could do it that maybe people haven't thought of before.
And it is nice because it's closer to everybody.
Right.
So that would be nice.
Here at the high school?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have a certain percentage of your people who come to prom, who come, eat a little bit, take pictures, and then leave shortly thereafter because they're going to their beach houses down in Galveston. And that's a thing. So that's fine. I mean, you're going to have some people do that. If it is convenient, if it is close, maybe you get more people to come than normally would come. Because you're not having to worry about exorbitant costs for venues, you could probably sell the tickets for cheaper. So your prom could probably be larger, which would probably necessitate us having several different rooms, several different DJs, several different places for students to gather. Little harder to police, little harder to monitor, but in smaller groups, should be easier in that regard, So I don't know. Do you guys feel like there would be pushback if push came to shove and we had to have it here at Dickinson High School? Do you think? And I haven't even gotten that approved. I haven't asked permission to do that. But what do you think the general feeling and sentiment would be from the seniors?
I think seniors want a prom either way, whether it be at the school or at a venue. I think they still want a prom either way.
Okay. Cecilia, do you agree?
Yeah.
Annabella, you agree?
I agree too, because the last year seniors didn't even get one at all.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. So this is me thinking outside the box here, guys. We will kind of reconvene. We may kick it around. You want to go again next week? You think it's a regular Wednesday meeting?
Yes, because it helps to get all these signs, because then we can access funding.
Okay.
If there's something that pops up.
All right. So try to contact Casey and Casey and Trenton, guys, let them know that I'm going to be posting this meeting on the Google Classroom. I mean, I'll send them a notification, but sometimes they don't get it. If y'all have any other concerns or something like that, or ideas, start kicking those ideas around.
Yeah,
I have
some
a-
fundraiser ideas.
Okay.
So,
Peter, if we can forge a signature.
Hey, can we forge your signature, Peter?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Probably shouldn't have said that on a recorded message, but whatever.
Annabella, go for it.
All right. Yeah, Annabella's gonna forge. Annabella's gonna forge your signature, Peter.
Okay. I have one question.
Yes, Peter, go ahead.
How you mentioned the corporate fund, like if we had like corporate, or like local businesses, like help fund our prom.
Yes.
Are we able to, if we are able to do that, are we able to set up like a link on our high school website?
Like a GoFundMe.
Yeah, almost like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can have Miss Carpenter check into that. I'll check into that. A GoFundMe. I don't know if that's even.
The only thing with GoFundMe
Legal.
is it is legal because the basketball team did it last year.
Okay.
They take a percentage though, but you could do like a Venmo account and that doesn't.
Oh, okay, or a Venmo account, whichever.
Okay.
I'll talk to Valerie.
Okay, well,
it'd probably be easier that way for businesses. If like they get the flyer and we can't talk to them personally, at least they can go to the website and.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll kick around all those ideas. Be thinking about potential places. Thinking about potential fundraisers, and I will get in contact with Big Life and get them to make sure that they send me what I need to get y'all the information for the Butter Braids fundraiser as well. And if we can do all that stuff contactless, then even better. So, all right, Peter, thanks, man. All right, guys, y'all get to class. Get a pass from Miss Jower so you guys aren't counted tardy.
Okay.
Thanks,
I'm gonna
Peter.
go-
I don't think, yeah.
Okay, y'all
Our
good?
classes are just in AMG.
Perfect. Then y'all are
I
good.
need to talk-
What's up?
So like I work at Bahama Bucks. I work
Yes.
at Bahama Bucks. And so should I reach out to like the local business owner for that store or like the corporate?
You might talk to the manager of that store, and then if they have to get that approved, which many times they do, then let them go through the process of getting that